Good evening, my name is Rizky Bagaskara. In this video, I want to show my final project for Pacmann course Business Analytics. The title of this project is Paid Search Campaign Analysis. So these are the outlines for this video. And the first one that I want to talk about is the introduction. So Tokopedia, a fictional big traditional shopping mall, is looking for a new way to advertise its products. Tokopedia utilizes a paid search campaign, so whenever customers search for something, especially products on Google, Tokopedia's name will pop up first. For this project, the dataset that I will be using is taken from Kaggle. So the dataset is actually a real shopping mall paid search campaign in the United States conducted from July to November 2021. And this is the dataset. There are a couple of features that I'll talk about later. So basically in this dataset there are 12 different columns. 6 of them are for marketing metrics and 4 of them are for finance metrics. Next one is the problem statement and goals. Problem statement. A data analyst myself was tasked by the marketing managers of Tokopedia to analyze the effectiveness of the paid search campaign. The goals was to create an appropriate solution by create a dashboard using Tableau so marketing managers can easily see the results of the campaigns and determine their effectiveness. User persona and user flow. User persona basically represents the target user. In this case, the target user is marketing managers, and their task was divided into two. The first one was to oversaw marketing campaign effectiveness, and the second one is to create business decisions based on analytics to determine the best outcome. For the flow or the interact to display the interactions with system, I'll be using use case diagram. In this case, the actor is marketing managers, and the interactions for the marketing managers to the system are represented by these ellipses. First one is to view the dashboard, and then later on interact with dashboard by selecting the slicers or filters, and also to click specific charts by highlighting to highlight the information. And later on, they could gain insights from the dashboard and create decision based on insights. Next is data understanding and exploration. I mentioned it before that the dataset that I'll be using for this project was taken from Kaggle, and as you can see, there are these dataset dictionary. You could see here right here. I won't explain all of them, but I want to explain the ad group, because as you can see right here, this ad group doesn't explain, it doesn't explain. So I want to explain it more detail. And there are 3 types of ads. First one is one by one, which ads will show when customers search for exact prices, word by word or keyword on search engines. Second one is exact, so it will show when customers search for exact prices. The third one is phrase, ad that will show when customers search for exact phrase or close variations on that phrase on search engine. And those 3 types of ads will be shown on 2 types of platform. The first one is on mobile and the second one is on desktop, including PCs, laptop. For the data exploration, I'll be using Python and Jupyter Notebook in Visual Studio Code. There are 3 steps. First one is to check the null values, second one is to check the duplicate, and the third one is for checking the outliers. So there are no null values based on this code, and also there are no duplicated values based on this code, but there are a lot of outliers by creating box plot. As you can see here, that there are a lot of outliers depicted by these small circles here on top of these maximum lines, and the only columns that have no outliers are these CTR and CPC columns. But for this project, I will not remove those outliers because these projects mainly use the historical data set, right? And this type of project actually is descriptive analysis. So I think there will not, I think it's unnecessary to remove those outliers because those outliers can actually be meaningful to those marketing managers. Except if I want to do modeling or vice versa modeling, then I will be removing the outliers. So for visualization, here's the dashboard. And here's the dashboard. And just in case if the marketing manager wanted to see the data distribution, then there are a button that will navigate to the data distribution. Okay, moving on. Next to analysis. There are 12, or no, I'm sorry, 11 business questions that will get to gain some insights for this project. The first one is the general marketing performance. There are for this marketing performance, we'll be using benchmark for to know that if Tokopedia is actually performing well. So these are the benchmark across industries, and this is the marketing performance for Tokopedia. So based on industrial benchmark above, we can infer Tokopedia outperform benchmark for average CTR, CPC, and conversion rate, except for average CPA, which is really high compared to the average CPA for benchmark. This next is the general finance performance. So for the cost, revenue, and sales amount, it's all relative to each company and industry. But for return on investment, there are actually a benchmark across industry, which is about 10.49%. And as you can see right here, the average return of investment for Tokopedia is 322%, which is really high. But we can also see that the net profit, which is negative because the cost exceeded the revenue. The next one is the ad groups with highest coverage. Highest coverage means that the average impressions, that average clicks, are the highest amongst all other ads. So we can see that the ads with exact match phrase and keyword, which is one by one, and that are being shown on mobile with an ad type with an ad type shop coupon, got the highest coverage compared to other ads. And the next one is ad groups with highest conversion rate. So there are two ads that got the highest conversion rate, which is the Black Friday or Cyber Monday, and the next one is free shipping. Well, we can infer that why those two ads are getting the highest conversion rates, because first one, for the Black Friday or Cyber Monday, almost all items are discounted. And the next one is for free shipping, because customers will always choose cheaper shipping costs, or maybe if there's an option for free shipping, they will always try to use it because those options can actually cut their spending by a lot. Next one is ad growth with worse conversion rate. So this industry standards is actually around 3.7%, but these are for this project, these are the worst at average conversion rate. So there are exact price mobile sell ads, price mobile discount code ads, and price mobile sell ads. So we can infer that the worst conversion rate can be attributed to the low discount value that was being advertised. Because if we see this, these three types of ads, basically are discounts. And because of this, customers are unlikely to buy products based on those advertisements. Next one is ad group with highest cost. Well, ads with one by one match keywords means that the ads will show only if the customer searches on Google for exact phrases, word by word or keyword matching. Because of that, you know, we have to make it easier to customers to search for our products by matching the terms to our specific phrases or keywords. But in turn, the ads will be needed to be shown everywhere and need to be in on number one spot on Google search, leading to high ad costs. The next one is does high ad costs actually have a relation to its effectiveness? As you can see right here, the two of these ads which are shown before and also these ads are already shown before are actually quite the opposite, because you can see right there the average CPA are pretty low, are really low, which is about $3. But for this one is actually $18,000, but the conversion rate is only 4.20%. And we cannot measure an effectiveness of an ad based on the average impressions or clicks alone, right? But we can measure the effectiveness of the ad by its average conversion rate. So we can refer to AIDA marketing funnel, and based on this funnel, the conversion rate, the act of customer to buy something or buy a product or use a service is actually the most important thing compared to any other process on a marketing funnel. So in short, no, we cannot infer that high ad cost can actually do an effectiveness to our conversion rates. Next one is does high sales and revenue contributed to high ad cost? Well, in short, yes, as you can see right here, which, use by spending a lot of ads, we can gain a lot of revenue and sales amount, but the net profit is still negative because the cost, as I mentioned it before, exceeded the revenue. The next one is the next one is the highest revenue and sales by month. And by this chart, from this chart, we can infer that November got the highest amount of sales and revenue. And based on this chart, and yes, it does correlate. The revenue shown by these bar charts and the sell amount shown by this line chart. Highest profit by month. So for highest profit by month is actually depicted by this green chart, which is actually net profit, cost minus the revenue minus the cost. And Tokopedia only gained a small net profit in October by a measly amount of $1,047. And this was caused by a high cost but low revenue. And last but not least is the highest return on investment by ad group per ad cost. So these two are actually the highest, return on investment per ad cost. Only $3 and $17 in ads and return around 140,000%, and also 33,000%, which is actually insane, you know. And by all of the analysis from before, we can conclude that, there are two things from the marketing and financial perspective that Tokopedia can do. First one is to sustain strong exposure, because strong exposure could lead to high sales amount, which in turn gain a lot of revenue, and also to enhance conversion rates while simultaneously lower the cost per acquisition or CPA and overall ad spend. And for financial perspective, Tokopedia should increase its profitability by prioritizing ad groups with the highest return on investment which is the Black Friday and free shipping. So that's all for the, oh yeah, so these are the references that I was use. Then, and thank you for your attention. See you on the next video.